What up? Welcome back to What's Up Wednesday. It's beautiful Wednesday morning here, Denver, Colorado. Not too hot yet. It's been getting super hot, but it's pretty nice right now. So what's up? Let's see. I just finally submitted some songs to playlists. Well, one song, I should say. The Yeti Lives in the Himalayas. I just blasted that out to some playlists this week. And got some good response rate. I think, so I submitted to 12 playlist curators and got accepted by 3. So that's 25% acceptance rate. It's pretty good in my experience. In the past, I've gotten like a 7% acceptance rate. And so I think there could be 2 things that went into that. One, I think I've gotten better at picking out which playlisters to submit to. I remember when I first started submitting songs to playlists, I would literally just select every single playlist and blast it out. And that used all my money really fast and did not line up my song with the person, and so they did not accept my song. I just got a new phone. Also, smashed the bejesus out of my other phone 2 weekends ago and annihilated it. And so, I got this new phone. It's called the Nothing Phone 4A Pro. And I guess it swaps to a recording screen after about a minute of recording, instead of continuing to show me the preview of what I'm recording. I can tap on it to show the preview, but instead of making the phone super hot and using up more battery, it swaps to this kind of black screen, so that's kind of nice. Anyways, so I think that's one aspect to better playlisting success. Is this time I actually did listen to some previews of the playlists I was submitting for to see if the vibe matched. Because, hip-hop can cover like a lot of different vibes, right? Some people like hip-hop because it's like fast and in your face and punchy, but other people like hip-hop because it's like smooth and chill and good like background noise. And so you can get both of those vibes, like MF Doom or Eminem, based on what you're looking for. And so when you're submitting to a playlist, it's important to actually check out that and assess the vibe rather than just submitting to it because it says it's a hip-hop playlist and your song is a hip-hop song. Saves you some money, makes you more likely to get playlisted. So that's number one. But number 2, I do think my songs have improved. I have noticed over the years that slowly my playlist acceptance rate has gone up when I've done some playlist submissions. So that feels good. That's good to hear. That when it feels like my music is getting better, it is also getting externally validated. And that's something I've mentioned a couple times in the last couple videos is I heard the advice that you're supposed to, you haven't really tried in the music industry if you haven't been at it for 10 years. You gotta be at it for at least 10 years to even say you've tried in the music industry. And so I'm starting to see why. I think right out the gate, I thought I had some decent songs. It turns out they all kind of suck. So I don't know. There's practice there. There's practice building the network, figuring out all the different marketing strategies and what you like to employ. And just there's the practice with all of those to make them easier enough that you can deploy them in a good way. And so I mentioned a couple Wednesdays ago the importance of visuals, I think, for musicians. I really think a song gains some power when it not only is catchy by itself, but has a catchy visual to go along with it. The song becomes triply catchy. I think when you listen to a song that you've already seen the music video for, the music video kind of plays in the back of your head anyway, even though you're not watching it in that moment, and makes the song more memorable and pop a lot more. So things like that. I think quality visuals really can make a standout musician stand out much more than they would without any quality visuals. And I've been working in the without quality visuals for a while now. I also have recently learned that when big companies do marketing campaigns, they literally do it a year in advance. They have their product completely ready to go 1 year in advance, and then start figuring out their marketing campaign for it before even starting their marketing campaign, right? And so I think right now I've been cooking up a couple singles and it's just been fun, but I expect probably around October, November, I'll be ready to start sitting down and trying to machinate a longer form composition, a bigger album that is much more intentional than my previous albums have been, and go through a full advertising scheme cycle for it, where I do create music videos, plan out TikToks and Reels and all the things. And I did a press release last time. I could do a press release again. But I think I learned from that last press release attempt what was kind of lacking from the press release, which is more striking visuals, and probably a more compelling story for a reader. You know, when you're releasing something to the press, obviously their goal is to publish a story. You need a good story to publish, or your thing's gonna fall flat. And I did this press release for Smog, which is kind of a cool story. And the story I sent to press, the press was about coming up with that story, which is like kind of interesting, but it's not this like, wow, I need to read this story kind of thing, which I'm sure they're looking for. And so, yeah, I think I have been getting better about writing songs that have some meaning behind them. That's something I've been trying to do. And so I expect that come November, December, I'll have a little more free time on my hands, and I'll be able to buckle down and try to put some of these skills I've developed to work, writing a collection of songs that have greater meaning, greater impact, and resonate with people more, and then putting visuals behind those, and then drafting up stories about them to send out to the press, and doing a full kind of multi-avenue advertising scheme with these. That's what I'm thinking. Why November, December for B-Boyd freeing up? Right now we're trying to close out some poor investments we made in the past, and that'll help get those out of the way. What else is up? So that's going on. I've got another single in the works that I wrote a while ago. I wrote all the lyrics for it one day when I had a idea for kind of a funny song, and then took it to a friend to build out the instrumental for, and that was fun. Now I've taken it to a studio to get it produced. I always end up having the same frustration when I go to a studio, which is, the song, you take it to the studio so they can change your song and make it sound better, and then you get it back and it sounds different. I'm like, what the hell? It's not supposed to sound different, but it is. That's exactly the whole point, is they're supposed to make it sound better. But every single time it throws me off. I think it's different when you're doing the mixing and mastering yourself, and so you like witness every change that happened, versus like you get it back and it just kind of sounds different and you're like, I don't know what changed here, but something changed. Always throws me for a loop a little bit, but it is usually for the better. So anyways, that's a ramble. I don't know that I have a whole lot else to say today. Quick What's Up Wednesday. Yeah. I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in.